Welcome to TSG Foundation's Wisdom of the Zodiac. Today's lesson and meditation is taken from Volume 3, Chapter 12, Libra, 5 Movements. The whole essence of this chapter is to help us observe and find the kinds of movements that our bodies make and how to stabilize them, to be able to really see if our bodies, physical, emotional, mental, and our soul body, are they working in unison, or is one pulling and disintegrating the other one's balances? So let's look at the 5 balances. The whole idea is to find stability in our life, isn't it? So that as practicing disciples of Ageless Wisdom, no matter what happens around us, what disruptions we see in our personal and global life even, we are able to find that point of stability. And when we go back to all the wisdom of the Zodiac lessons we've learned, what is it that gives us stability? You're going to find that out. It is the principles, the values under which you live, the values that your soul holds on to tight no matter what happens. So let's look at these 5 movements. And this is modeled on the idea that a Libra has the image of a scale with 2 plates or 2 arms. Okay, so the 5 movements are: number 1, left cup up, right cup down. Or number 2, right cup up, left cup down. Number 3, fluctuation between the cups, up and down, constant. We know what that looks like sometimes. Number 4, a state of balance. Everything is stable. And number 5, equilibrium. Now those 2 are a little different. Equilibrium means internal stability no matter what happens. That doesn't mean that you don't have disruption. It means that you don't react, that you stay stable and balanced no matter what happens. That's an internal state of equilibrium that brings you all into one. You don't have 2 cups anymore, you are one. And that is an important point to remember. Let's look at these 5 movements and how they occur. Torkham writes that these 5 movements occur upon the physical, emotional, mental, and psychic planes simultaneously or at various times. And so during this month of Libra, you're going to really observe yourself and be a detached observer. Just stand back and say, what's going on inside of me? When you're feeling that little discomfort inside of you, what is really going on? Is my physical body pulling me down and weighing me down? Are my emotions doing it? Is my mind doing it and my worries? Am I really troubled about something that has happened that I don't have a right answer for and it's really bugging me? It's so important to develop that capacity to do that in your life, because who is observing then? If you're not just critiquing and putting yourself down, it is really the soul who's observing all the bodies and saying, well, this is going on and let's see what we can do about it. Fluctuation number 1 is related to material values, attachments, and so on. So the first fluctuation is, how heavily weighed down are we with our material values and attachments, and our spiritual values and attachments are so light and so non-existent that they just float up and everything else weighs it down. So when you feel weighed down, ask that question. What is it that is weighing me down? What is it that's keeping me awake at night? What is it that's hurting my heart? What is it that's making me angry and unforgiving? Find out what that is. It is so important for you. That is what Libra is all about, that gift of finding out the truth and rebalancing your life. Number 2 is related to idealistic abstract values. So when we have so many abstract idealistic values, we're going to go to the United Nations and speak our mind. We are going to change the whole world. All of these things, when they weigh down and they don't have a concurrent balancing external application, then those values weigh heavily in us and create psychic disorders. It is just as important to notice how you're being weighed down, either by fluctuations related to idealistic abstract values or fluctuations related to material values, you're really going to look at those two, because they have to be equal so that eventually you find that sense of balance and equilibrium in you. Vacillation up and down in rapid, short periods of time is caused by states of mind, emotions, body, and spirit aspiring up, then falling back down to the level of reality. This is so important, so that number 3, fluctuation between 2 cups, up and down, up and down. We can see that in our life sometimes when we are really stressed out. We are really unsure about what to do next. And we say, but I have so many values and principles. What's going on? And when you have that feeling that you are crashing up and crashing down, stop yourself, pull yourself out, be the independent observer and find out what is going on. Maybe one thing is outweighing the other. Let me read the rest of that paragraph. Moments of aspiration and enthusiasm bring the right cup up and the left cup down. Moments of depression or disappointment, failure and sickness pull the right cup down. This happens synchronously on all levels and non-rhythmic process. So you're going to say, I aspire, I'm enthusiastic, I'm joyful one day, and the next day I'm crashing. Why is that? You're disappointed, you're depressed, up and down, up and down. That's not a healthy place to be. And you're really going to find out why that is. If you can't find that on your own, find a great friend, a mentor, a coach, a psychologist, somebody who can counsel you to find out why your balance is constantly shifting. Because you know when that happens, it's not a healthy state to be in. Let's go to number 4, the 4th movement. The state of balance brings material and spiritual values to the same level. This, however, is not necessarily a permanent state of beingness. Heavier crises or inspiration disturb the balance in favor of the right or left cup, but the time between fluctuations and balance slowly shortens. This indicates that the person is assuming a more balanced attitude toward life as a whole. So when you go to the 4th movement, a state of balance, it means that your spiritual life and your material expression are really pretty much equal. That when you think that you need to do something, that you need to give something or express a value or a virtue, that you are able to do it and it stays in balance. Now what happens? Sometimes disruptions happen, crises happen, extra need comes out at you from people around you or life around you, and that could disturb you a little bit. But that's a good thing, because what happens is you readjust yourself and rebalance yourself. And when you are able to do that on a continuous basis, we come to the 5th part, which is equilibrium. You see, so crises, changes, challenges that evoke a response from us is very good, because what it is doing is putting you together, making you whole, and giving you a sense of equilibrium no matter what happens. So the 5th movement, equilibrium, is a state of spiritual balance during fluctuation. So let's say you're a leader, a teacher, a parent, a spouse, and things happen around you. People get sick. People say ugly things. People do things that demand something new from you, but you're not disrupted. You are able to address those needs through your own inner sense of balance and inner sense of values. Do you see how important that is? And when you get to that point, what happens? You are one. You are whole. And that is so important. And I'll bring that theme back again at the end in our meditation for you, so that you can see how wholeness in this balancing exercise is so important. It is interesting to mention, I'm reading on page 132, that when the cups are empty, okay, when they're empty, there's no value, there's no striving, they fluctuate easily with the slightest breeze. That can mean that anything can influence you, or it can mean that nothing will disrupt you. So you're going to see, am I such a lightweight that anything that anybody does or says or looks at me the wrong way is going to hurt me, is going to make me sink into my grief or distress? Or am I going to have just the right values, the right approach, that I immediately rise again. The slightest disruption doesn't bring me down all the way. So you're going to see that the more we are empty, ego, vanity, glamours and illusions, self-deprecation and self-doubt, the more we are able to quickly rebalance ourselves. Okay, this is very important. The more we are weighed down, the more we can't bring that balance back up. At the same time, the more we are self-confident, full of virtues and values, a love that gives life, we will not be so easily influenced, but we can easily let our soul take us to a new level. Do you see that? What are we going to be influenced by? That's the underlying question of Libra. Are we going to be influenced by the external values, the cheap thrills, or are we going to be influenced by our soul, by what is deep inside of us and inside of each life form? If that is what informs us, we will always be able to find a quick balance and reestablish our equilibrium, that sense of peace and joy inside of you that nobody can take away. That's how I see equilibrium. Let's look at the bottom of that page, page 132. The symbol of the balance can be interpreted as an embodiment of a purpose. Okay, it's an embodiment of a purpose. So when you have a purposeful life, you know what you want in your life and you're very clear about it, you're going to find a way to be in balance and eventually in equilibrium. When your life is moving toward that purpose, nothing can shake you. Okay, as the container of an idea. So your cups contain great ideas that you are constantly testing, constantly manifesting, constantly trying out to see what is going to work to take you toward that purpose. You are going to see what values are going to take you to your higher self and what values you need to discard. Take them off your plate. You don't need them. And that's so important. Again, as a practicing disciple of the Ageless Wisdom, Libra gives you time to make a choice. Okay, to make a choice and to see what is going on with my bodies. Are they calm? Are they peaceful? Are they cooperative? Is my soul in charge? Is my soul receiving insight and intuition and able to manifest and to incorporate into my daily life and have my life have a definite purpose toward which I rise every day? This is what you're going to ask yourself. And you go to the bottom of the next page, page 133. From one perspective, the purpose of balance is to create equilibrium. So when you find the way to balance yourself, at the end of the day, what you're getting is equilibrium, which means changelessness in change. That means the core of you doesn't change. The way you express them may change a little bit depending on the need, but who you are inside doesn't change. So everything changes around you. You adapt and you change according to what is the need, but the core of you is changeless in change. Think about what that means and meditate on that. The idea behind balance is to establish communication between that which is higher. The form and movement of balance are devices to learn about the states of our mind, emotions, and body, and to watch their fluctuations in order to create health, happiness, prosperity, and beauty. That is really the bottom of the life purpose of a practicing disciple, and I've said this over and over, is to find ways to find health, happiness, success, prosperity, and beauty, not just for ourselves, but for our family, friends, the whole world. Every living form requires these qualities, and we can find it when we know how to balance our higher values with the manifestation in our life. It's such a beautiful chapter, and I'd like you to read this carefully and really meditate on these words, and I'm going to give you 5 seed thoughts for the 5 days of meditation and observation of the full moon of Libra. 2 days before the full moon, the first day. Here's your seed thought. What material values and relations uplift me? Meditate on it. Think about it. This is so important because we need to have an inventory, okay, a conscious inventory of all values and relations and relationships that uplift us, practices, things that we do. So when you have that set, you can write it down, and any time you need that cup to be balanced a little bit, go to that list. I have done this in my life many, many years ago, and it has really helped me. The smallest thing that gives you joy, put that on your list. Okay, that's day number 1. Day number 2, your meditation seed thought is, what spiritual values and relations uplift me? Okay, on day number 2, you're going to look at spiritual values and spiritual relations that uplift you. Is it your meditation? Is it beauty? Is it goodness? Whatever it is, you're going to write those down so you never forget that list, so you can go to it. There's the material value, there's a spiritual value, and you will see when you do this meditation, you'll find a way to balance the two. It's so important. Day of the full moon, which is day number 3. How do I increase my state of balance? It's so important to ask this question and really be honest with yourself. And when I ask that question, I say, what makes me imbalanced? What takes me out of my peace and joy? I'm going to look at that. And how do I increase my state of balance? Why is that? Because at the end of the day, we want to be whole. I'm going to read something for you from the Upanishads, from Torkom's book, Teachings of Great Ones. But there's one beautiful phrase in there that I want to tell you now, and that is, from wholeness emerges wholeness. And when wholeness emerges from wholeness, wholeness remains. So you're going to find, how do I find wholeness, emerge in wholeness, and remain in wholeness? And that is a state of equilibrium. So, day number 3, day of the full moon, how do I increase my state of balance? Day number 4, the day after the full moon, what does it mean to be changeless in change? Okay, that is a very, very beautiful seed thought, and it will challenge you. Day number 5, seed thought is, how do I cultivate the strength of changelessness? I know these are challenging, but you are up to it. I know you are, because you've been with me studying these beautiful books, and you're going to meditate on this and find, how do I cultivate the strength of changelessness? Look at your life and the seed thought from the perspective of your physical, emotional, mental, and soul life, and see how you can cultivate that strength. What is it that's going to take? That's beautiful. So now I have devised for this chapter a meditation process that is not in this chapter, but I think it will be beautiful for you to do. Use this format to do each of those days, and you will see, after you do these meditations, something profound can change inside of you. Something deep inside of you is beautiful to meditate and think what these mean and journal. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to relax and smile. Let me just walk you through it. Integrate and align. Those are very important, so you see yourself as a whole and you align with the highest in you, the soul. We are going to say the great invocation together, and then we will take seed thought number 3, and I will repeat it. And then we will repeat a beautiful mantra that I will read from the Upanishads, from Torkom's book, Teachings of Great Ones. Okay, let's start our meditation. Sit up straight, close your eyes, breathe deeply and relax. Integrate. integrate yourself by putting all your thoughts outside. Pull your bodies together, physical, emotional, mental, and focus as a soul. And as we say the great invocation, think of the light, the love, and the purpose of the great ones that help us find the true equilibrium in our lives. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Let's say one Om. Your meditation seed thought is, how do I increase my state of balance? You can take it physically, emotionally, mentally, and as a soul. Take each one at a time. Repeat after me. May the Most High protect us. May the Most High bestow upon us the fruits of the divine knowledge of self. May the Most High bestow upon us the fruits of the divine knowledge of the self. May all that we study reveal the truth within us. May all that we study reveal the truth. May we cherish no ill feelings toward each other. Let us say 3 Ohms. Thank you for joining me on these wonderful Wisdom of the Zodiac journeys. May the Most High protect you and shield you and nurture you so that you can find your true balance and eventually your unified equilibrium and be one with your soul. I read today from Teachings of Great Ones by Gita Saraydarian and Wisdom of the Zodiac, Volume 3. I recommend these books for your enlightenment and beauty and enjoyment. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. If you like these programs, support our work. I appreciate it. Bye for now.